Welcome. We have a first person in the stream for the French Grand Prix here tonight. I'm 7 minutes early, but I do enjoy this little bit of like conversation just, before we get going in the race tonight. 3 people down the stream. Welcome everyone to what will be a brilliant race here tonight. Should be a great bit of action as always. Apologies for missing last weekend. Things, yeah. That's all I can say really. I was out enjoying myself instead of commentating on this awful, horrible league. Never want to commentate here again. Joking. Best league out there. I recommend anyone to join. A championship that has really closed down here tonight. I believe it's a 7-point gap with Cristiano after last week's win in Belgium, taking over the lead of the championship from the man who isn't here yet. I'm sure he will be here later. And I said Bobo then. Dion. Dion's the one that's close. 7 points indeed, yeah. The battle for P3 also heating up. Jackson Tim currently tied on points in this championship. Mel's not too far behind them on 60 points himself, 12 points behind that fight for P2. And Rico not far behind either of them, 18 points behind the battle for P2, P3 even, and only 6 points behind Mel's in P5 in the standings currently. Then Stein and Ghost for P7 seems like a close battle. 3 points currently splitting those two drivers. Swifty not far behind them, also not far off the clutches of Maro, Davies, Vetsku, and even Luke. Anyway, let's get to it in 5 minutes time, because we are still nowhere near going yet. "17 people. This is a very full lobby. You do have Bobo here tonight, actually. That's an interesting one. Dion has now arrived on the scene. Bobo in the Ferrari is going to be a really weird thing to see. We have some new drivers as well. Peter, his first time here today. Vetsku is back, the reserve Tier 2 driver until Tier 2 eventually folded. Vetsku has returned to the Tier 1 grid in the Haas for this race in France. It's an open shot for anyone, as usual, really. In any race. Zandvoort, that was pretty open. I'm not sure about Belgium. I don't know whether that was a joke or not, because we already know the one man that dominates everything, and he is called Cristiano. It's the same every race now. I think he's won about 5 in a row. I genuinely want to say 5 in a row right now, which is actually unbelievable. I'm not too sure. Let me just... I can check, I believe. Yeah, Chris won last time. Chris won in Netherlands. Chris won in Monza. Oh no, yeah. That's who won there. It was Ecos. So I believe Ecos is the only person stopping that streak. Obviously Jax's win in Austria. Sorry, not Austria, Portugal. Vetsku's win in Austria. So he's had... This will be his 3rd win in a row potentially tonight, which is still absolutely huge. Cristiano Ronaldo suing. Are we ready up already? Seems like it. Right, let's get to it. Let's get some racing done. If we are ready up, there's 5 people ready up, so I'm not too sure yet, but I'm ready tonight. Feeling alive, feeling confident, feeling ready as usual to commentate for this absolutely brilliant league every single day. If I mess up the end of this race today, I swear I'm going to be so annoyed with myself, because I've done it for the last 2 races I've commentated on, and it's so annoying messing up the end. Oh yes, we are ready enough. Okay. We will be getting going very, very soon. So what is going to be a fantastic race here tonight in Paul Ricard in France. Corners are very explicable here. Like, I'm counting that left kick you can see there as a corner. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was 167 potential layouts on this circuit, and they chose a specific one. I don't know why, because there is many more layouts that I'm sure will be better for racing. Obviously you can't really choose a different layout there, but the section we'll see in about 2 seconds. Not that one either. Well, the next section we'll see should be the one where you can see how many different, there you go, how many different potential racing lines there could have been if a different perspective was chosen, I guess. I don't think this is a Tilke design circuit, which is probably why it hasn't provided good racing in real life for a very long time. But I've got to say, France is one of my personal favourites to drive on the game, and I'm hoping it will provide the racing we want to see tonight, as we see Jax and Valtteri Bottas lining up in their garage, preparing to get going for what will be a great race. I believe that is, it's Chris out first. That's a bit of a weird thing to see. He always seems to like being one of the first out, and I don't really understand why, because it's quite obvious he's going to be up there. He doesn't really need to set this pace early. All he has to do is do what Tim does half the time. Sit in his garage, wait until that midpoint in the session, as we see Dion there leaving his box. Wait until that midpoint in the session, and then go out and set those flying laps late on. If you know you're going to be up there, you may as well do that, because it saves tyres. Like, you don't want to be like sat at the back. Sorry guys, hold on a minute. Yeah, you don't really want to be sat at the back for a very long period of time. as now we do see the first outlaps begin. I should probably turn on telemetry and everything. There we go. Cristiano will lead the way from his outlap, followed by, I believe, Vetsku, and I am correct in that. Then it is the Aston Martin of Undertaker. Wait, no, it's an AlphaTauri even, of, I believe, I don't know actually. It's Stein behind Vetsku. Then behind them is Undertaker. Yep, behind them's Undertaker. Then after that, it is Volta. And then the grid just moves down as it goes. But now we see the first onboard lap of the session. Through turn 1, through turn 2. Chris keeps the power down through 2. Something very difficult to do without flying off the circuit on exit. Now into 3 and 4. Very, very twisty section. A section that probably shouldn't even be there on the circuit. But he gets it perfectly right through 6 now. And heading on to 7, leading towards the longest straight of the entire circuit. And I've got to say, a brilliant overtaking spot into the next chicane of turns 8 and 9, which he will approach right now. Nicely over the curb, nicely over turn 9 there as well, through 10 and now into 11. Heading now down towards turn 12. Will he be able to get this fast right-hander perfectly accurate? He does indeed do that. Lines himself up for 13. Long sweeping corner, which leads you only into 14. Now diving down the hill into 15. Nice wide entry, gives him the cut in he needs. Gets the apex speed. Bit of a drift on exit. That will be fine for him through 16. Now 17. And now heading into the final turn 18. Seems like an almost flawless lap there from Chris. But a very surprising mistake from him. Sees a bit of a slide, but that's fine. Of course he's going to top the timing charts. Where else would he go? Vetsku has gone P2. Very close actually though. 4/10 off Chris there. Very solid first lap from Vetsku there. Bit of an unexpected one if anything. From the Finnish driver. As now we do see another lap being set there from Volta. Very tight today. Chris, is he off the pace a bit? I'm not too sure. Bus there with a 1:30.3. Maybe a bit back down to earth with distance from Chris there. As Tim will now start his lap. He has gone out decently early as their Peter goes P4 in his first outing in ITR tonight. Rico goes P6, doesn't really seem like that was a push lap from him, a 1:31.3, and Davies there goes P5 for that 1:30.1. But we will go on board with Tim, currently in the battle for P4 in the standings. Wants a solid qualifying position here to maybe help himself push ahead of Jax and get P3 tonight, which is all the more possible. All he has to do is finish ahead, and he is P3 in the standings tonight. Currently though, they are tied on points, as there we see Luke moving up into P7 there, with a 1:30.7, as Tim now taking a very similar line, and then cuts in actually. That is not what Chris did, if I'm not mistaken. Takes a very neat line there, heading in now to 14. Does the exact same as Chris on that corner. And he does the exact same in the snap as well. Very, very coincidental there. Following Chris's exact line. Taking the wide entry. Hitting the apex perfectly. And then getting that sudden rush of oversteer. As now down towards the line Tim will go. He's not going to do another lap after this. This needs to be strong. It's very strong. P4 for Chris. Sorry, Tim even. P4 for Tim on the night. Undertaker has set a lap good enough for P6 out there. Very solid running from him. As now Jax, Tim's competitor for P3 in the standings. As that there was, who was that actually? That was Dion, moving himself up to P6. Rather slow from Dion. A man who needs to be up there with Chris if he wants to fight for this title. Jax though, through the middle sector into now turn 14. Heading down towards turn 15. Very strong lap there from Timer, moves himself up into P5, knocking down Peter and Dion there. And now Jax through the final corner. Where will this lap put him? 125, 126, 127, 128, 129. It's a 129.7. Very strong from Jax. P3 currently for the Brit. Very, very nice run there from him. I believe Dion's on a push here. I can't tell because he is a second off the pace, I believe. I'm not too sure if Dion's on a push, but he knows he has to be up there, so really he does need to put in some more push laps. Maybe he can get those tyres on for the main race. Probably the smart idea. Will he do the exact same as Chris and Tim? No, he does get the exit right this time. I still cannot tell you if he's on a push or not. I believe he is though. No, he is into the pits. Okay. Luke, he is on a... I don't know. Again, I can't tell you really. He's on something though. I don't know what that something is though. Now into the final corner and into the pit lane goes Luke. Ghost, he's on a push lap and he has gone purple first, middle sector even. Very strong so far from Ghost. As now into this middle complex of circuit. Very difficult section to get right, as proven by Chris and Tim's snaps on the exit of 14. Will Ghost follow suit? No, he won't. Very nice through the turn 15 there from Ghost into now to turn 16. Takes the wide berth, gives him a better line for the final corner. Seems like a very strong lap this from Ghost. Where will this lap put him? Ghost could put himself up there today. Here he goes. It's 6th place only. Looked a lot stronger, especially with that purple middle sector, but not the case. A bit off the pace there for him. Someone set a very strong lap there in the middle of that. Jax was already P3. Volta was already there. Tim was already there. It was Ghost. That's who it was. P6. Oh wait, no, he's already gone. I'm an idiot. I didn't know. I forgot about that. Bobo. That's who it was. Moved himself up into P12. I kind of didn't even notice that. I was just focused on Ghost lap, and it was a very strong lap in fairness to him. Moving himself up into P6 and making him the 6th man in the 129. Bobo has invalidated, so he's not on a push. Rico is also invalidated, so he is also not on a push. But this man, he's got to get this right. He's in the fight now for maybe P3 in the standings. If he wants to truly solidify himself as a member of that P3 fight, he is going to have to push for all his might today. Here he comes now through turn 1 Mel's. Into turn 2. Very nice line, similar to Chris's line. Maybe the two teammates there sharing some setups before the race. Through turn 3 and now into turn 4. So far, very clean lap from Mel's. Doesn't seem to have made any mistakes, and he does seem to be on the pace today. So maybe he can even push himself into the top 5, maybe, if he solidifies this pace and it keeps it up, really. Very strong lap so far. Great running from him. Here he comes now through the almost middle section of circuit. Chicane there. After the long straight, they'll turn 8 and 9. Now a purple middle sector once again. That's another one we've seen tonight. As that there was... Did someone not just go up there? No, right, they didn't. Never mind. Thought it was like a very strong lap from someone. Bit wider there from Mel's. Maybe taking a different approach. Definitely not there for turn 15 though. Very similar approach there through now 16. Heading towards 17 and then the final turn 18. We will be able to see where Mel's will go after this lap. Seems very, very solid though so far, this lap, Mel's. Here he comes now towards the line. Very similar here to those 129 runners, and he joins them and he does go into the top 5. P5 for Mel's. Very solid lap there. Solidifies himself as a member of that fight for P3 in the standings. 12-point gap between him, Tim and Jax in that fight. Tim and Jax obviously sharing the spoils, both on 72 points and Mel's on 60 points. Currently, Jax P3, Mel's P5, and Tim in 6th place. Very, very solid from them so far. Timon now seems to be on a push lap. I think he's definitely on a push lap here. Through turn 3. Into turn 4, he's been caught in a lot of traffic there. Someone was miles off the circuit. I think a bollard got broken there. Doesn't really matter too much. That's a 2/10 gain from Timon. Puts himself in the 129s with this as Chris goes even faster. Because of course he does. Oh, that's what happened. So Vetsku and Peter had actually put himself up there. Currently P3 now for Peter on his first outing. Very impressive from him. Timon though, still gaining time. Here he comes. His middle sector split still 1.5 tenths up on his best time. Where will Timon go here? It looks like it's going to be either P8 or P7 for the Dutchman. We'll have to see now which way it'll go for him this final sector. Seems very decent so far, and now to turn 16. The very, very looping right-hander. Through 17. Very slow, medium speed left-hander. And then the final corner of turn 18. Nice right-hander. Nicely gets the power down, you know. Here comes Timon now to the line. Steiner's gone P9. Timon sets a lap good enough to just topple Stein and bring himself back up to P9 now. So it wasn't as impressive as we all thought, but he does put himself in the 129s along with the other 8 drivers that have also solidified themselves as members of the 129 club. That was probably the worst way I could have put it. Is Timon going for another here? No, he isn't. He's just invalidated. Is anyone up there going for another? It looks like Bus has backed off. That's what Bus has done. I think he actually did improve there though. He's put himself up into P8 by the looks of things. Very nice lap there from Bus. Undertaker, he's now the one on lap. Can he put himself in the 129? So far, yes, but it's barely. He will just about fall into P11 right now, just behind Timon in P10. 4 minutes left now in this qualifying today. Bit of a slide there at the line from Undertaker, as now here he goes, heading towards the final few corners through 16, heading towards 17. Seems very, very solid so far. He has to smash these final few corners though, out the park. Here comes Undertaker, around the final corner. Decent acceleration down. Where will this lap put Undertaker? Can he shock everyone? Yes, he can. P4 Undertaker. Very, very strong. Very close, really, between the entire top 11. Other than Chris. Chris is just miles away. Peter, Vetsku and Chris seem to be on the pace here today. They're the ones with the big gap. And then there's 4 drivers in the 129.7s. There's 1 driver in the 129.8s, and then the other 3 are in the 129.9s. And then Stein is just off with the 130.0. Dion just behind him with the Apologies for that. Dion just behind him with a 130.159. Then Davies, then Bobo, then Luke, then Rico at the bottom of the pile. For the moment, anyway. I'm sure he'll improve on that lap. That's not Rico. I hate to say it, but that is not Rico. Now we can watch a Bobo lap, though. Currently P15, the reserve. Fighting for a championship last year. Clearly, the competition has risen a bit too much for him. Now at reserve in ITR. But still racing in the leagues. Still keeping himself fresh. Oh, that's a bit of a slide. I think that's going to ruin his lap. Indeed it is. Davies, though, he's going to now come through the middle sector. Where will this lap put him? Is this an in lap? No, it isn't. He's positive. He is up. He's not quite in the 129s. He's very close, though. He's in similar to similar zones to Stein right now, it looks like. Doesn't look too far off Stein as it is. Dion also on a push lap. Is he the one just in front? No, he's behind. Tim is the other one on push lap. Let's watch him finish off that lap before we watch Davies and then Dion finish off their laps. Here comes Tim now towards the line. Where will this lap put Tim? It's P4. He topples Undertaker. Very solid run from Tim today. Now Davies towards the line. 130.002 up to P12, just ahead of Stein. Now there is Bus Boge. I don't know where he's gone out there. Seems to have just retired in the pits, as his teammate Undertaker. Both Aston Martins there, retiring in the pits. Ghost following into the pit lane. Probably hoping for that P11, which he is going to get as Dion there moves up into P9. Needs stronger laps though, Dion. To say his title fighter is 4/10 up on pole from P2. Dion needs to be up there with him. Preferably. In his case. But I'm not sure whether he can get himself there or not. As that there was Mel's moving up into P4. So Mel's has got pace today. He's very close to Peter there. Tim not too far away either from Peter. Jax now has invalidated Dion. Is he on a lap? I believe he is here because he seems to have oh no, he's a bit off. Let me just see. Well, he's not actually that far off. Only 2/10 down to that middle sector, surprisingly. Timon's pushing though. Now through turn, that is turn 5 into turn 6, and heading towards turn 7, lean onto the straight. The checkered flag is waved. This is the final lap for these drivers. Will they be able to push it enough? Will they be able to get the strong lap in they need at the end of this session to maybe fight for Cristiano? Timon seems strong on this run. He does seem to have a good amount of pace until that snap oversteer. That's ruined it, I believe, for Timon. Still going to go, though. Still positive on that last lap. So, by the looks of things, he will move up into the points. But I don't know whether you'd want that right now. Being P12, he does get that free choice of time for the start of the race. P10 does not get that. Bobo then moves himself up into P8. Very solid lap from him. Gets himself into the 129s as well. As Timon there has lost his back end and gone into the barrier. The worst way he wanted to end. Now Luke towards the line. Where can Luke put himself? I'm not sure he's too bothered about this lap. It's one place up. P16 now for Luke. Nothing really to improve on. But still, it's great to see 13 of the 17 tonight in the points. Pace-wise. No one can challenge Chris though. The session's done. It will be Chris from Vetsku from Peter and P3 on his debut. Very strong from him. Mel's P4, Tim P5, Undertaker in P6, Jax P7, Bobo in P8, Volta in P9, Dion P10 just about in the points. Bus Boge will finish P11 in this session. Ghost P12, Timon P13, Davies P14, Stein P15. P16 there, I believe, is the man we said improved, Luke, and then P17 is indeed Rico. Yeah, I was correct. That will be your order for what should be, as usual, a brilliant race here around Paul Ricard. Here we go. 10 more seconds until we start the most enthralling lap of the entire session. The formation lap. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The formation lap. Unbelievable. Now then, for the enthralling, the unbelievable, the scintillating formation lap, as we see Rico spinning on the formation lap. Interesting. And now, the first driver makes his way down to the grid. Obviously the Alfa Romeo. Who else would it be? Does seem a bit weird though to see an Alfa Romeo and a Haas on the front row with a Williams in P3 and the other Alfa Romeo in P4. Probably the craziest top four you've ever seen. Other than maybe, debatably, Sochi 2021 with Lando Norris on pole. Behind him, Carlos Sainz, and in third place, George Russell. That was a mental one. The final cars have locked into their positions, and it will now be time to go for this brilliant race today. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights are now ahead of the drivers. And it's lights out and away we go. Chris gets a brilliant start off pole. Flies away in P1. Mills with a fantastic start as well. But no one's better than Tim. Tim up to P2 from P5. What a start he's had. Jax moving up places as well there. As that there is Dion falling to the back. Dion's had an incident there of some sort. There's a front wing there off. And we do have a virtual safety car here. Bobo has spun around. It is Luke that's lost his front wing in that. Timon's dropped down a bit there as well, and he's not the only one to lose the front wing. Rico moved up to P13 but lost that front wing also. So this will not turn into a full safety car. We should be okay here to go racing very, very soon. Chris though leading from Tim and Vetsku, with Mel's staying in position in the end, but if Tim didn't have that unbelievable start, he could definitely be P2 right now. Peter losing positions there off the start, down into P5, dropping 2 places, as now we go back to green flag running, and instantly we have overtakes because of Rico's broken front wing. But now Rico, with the broken front wing, actually fights back. Rico's back past Timon. Meanwhile they're Bobo and Luke. Rico, they're going side by side with Timon. He's eventually had to back out of that one, understandably. Meanwhile they're further ahead. That is Volta getting down the inside of Undertaker through turn 15, turn 14 even. Very nice move from him. As there we see Stein. That's right, that's Ghost off circuit. Don't know what's happened there, but he's dropped 2 places in that. Meanwhile there, Davies and Dion. As Dion pits, Dion's got damage. Dion must have a slight tap of damage, or he just didn't think he could make it. As there we see the 1:45 as the fastest lap. That's unbelievable to see. Vetsku here is showing pace against Tim, which is exactly what every driver wants to show, pace against the champion. Vetsku does seem the faster driver here today. We know he's won a race. The one race he drove in was his first win. Now in his second race, will he be able to get past Tim here and up into second place? Potentially. He's got a decent run at him now actually. Here he comes. He's gaining. He is gaining still. He's not going to be quite close enough. Will he tuck back into slipstream though and take that advantage through turn 12 and 13? Probably so. Here we go now as Stein gets the move done on Bus. Very nice move from Stein. Bus though with the slipstream back down towards turn 13. I don't think it's going to be quite enough for him. Meanwhile there, Volta going side by side with Jax into turn 13 as their Vetsku is actually going through on Tim. We're going straight to this battle because Vetsku and Tim are wheel to wheel. Tim runs wide, Vetsku switches it back. Here we go now, 2 more corners left. Turn 17 and turn 18. Vetsku backs out of it, but that proves Vetsku's faster than Tim here today. Definitely over 1 lap. And it seems that it will be the same case over an entire race here. Vetsku now back down the straight, slipstreaming Tim once again. It will be a big opportunity with DRS. Now side by side between Volta and Undertaker there, just up the road. Undertaker is back past Volta, but Volta now gets a nice run, and that run is ruined by the exit there. Now Vetsku, the second opportunity of getting past Tim has arrived. Here he comes now. The first time we have DRS this race. Mells, he isn't far back either. Mells can realistically make this 3 wide, but here comes Vetsku down the main, well the longest straight, not the main straight. Will make the move stick and has got past Tim here. Tim though looking for the switch back. It's not going to quite happen for him, as there we see a few lots of overtakes there with DRS. Davies has got himself past Ghost, as Ghost that has a big snap of oversteer. Might allow Timon to push for him. Not quite, as then we see Mells and Tim. Mells and Tim, wheel to wheel, through 13 and 14. Is there going to be a move completed here for Mells? Not quite, he switches it back though. Mells, Vetsku and Tim seem to be having a fight for their lives here. All of them want P2. Only one of them can get it as Chris runs away with this one once again. We need a safety car here just to bring it closer together. Tim has held it very, very close to Vetsku all lap here, as there actually we do see an incident, and it is indeed Stein who's gone. Very unlucky for Stein. Seems to have decent pace in quali. Not going to be enough for him. Here comes Tim though. Not going to have a look yet. Or is he? Tim to the inside out of nowhere. Very unexpected move. Contact between them here. Wheel banging into turn 3 now. Still wheel to wheel between them. Vetsku backs out of it. Tim will move up into P2 back again in this race. After that brilliant start, he regains the position he once had. But now, can Mells finally get involved here, or is this just going to be Vetsku versus Tim? Because Vetsku is going to come right back at Tim. Here we go now, DRS down the straight. It's going to be a very simple move for Vetsku. And once again Mells gains, but it's never enough for Mells. Vetsku there though with a bit of a mistake. Will it open the door for Tim into turn 13? Not quite going to be the case, as Tim does have to fall back in the end. But Mells has got brilliant straight line speed here. He's got past Tim. Can he go for Vetsku? Not quite. But Mells has shown some fantastic straight line speed as well as cornering, as their Undertaker has lost it now. Undertaker falls back, and Tim's the one around. What's happened there? Still a few corners to go. Literally just switched off Tim there. Just as he had that incident, as Jackson, Volta are the first 2 to pit in this race on lap 4, pretty early. Timon having a look at Tim already. Timon now is the one pushing for Tim instead of Tim pushing for the podium. I don't know why those 4 have all pitted. Only ones I understand there are Undertaker really. He's the only real one. As now, Timon seems to have opened the door a bit here for Ghost. He's not going to be able to get the exit speed down. Bobo is also here. This is a very nice 4-way fight. Currently for P5 in this race. Very tight between them all. Tightest though in that fight, Ghost and Timon. No one knows who can get out in front of this fight. It looks like Tim is now running away with it though. Ghost will get Slipstream. So will Timon though. Timon's gained a lot there. Here he comes actually. Timon's close to Tim. Timon's really closing in now. Timon, it has gained enough time. Timon to the inside. Not quite going to be able to pull off the overtake. Ghost all the way around. What a move that is. If he pulls it off, which he does make it stick. Brilliant overtake there. Ghost up into P6 in this race so far. Vetsku still under pressure though from Mels. Mels showing some great race pace here today. Will he be able to get the move done on Vetsku, or is Vetsku now a bit too quick without the company of Tim? Meanwhile, further back there we have the two Aston Martins fighting away with Dion. Dion's got a great run now down towards 13. Will be able to make the move stick through the fast right hander, going to go wheel to wheel through there. What a camera shot that is. Still side by side between them, and I think now that will be Bus's position, but Dion's still there. These two are still side by side right now. Bus is going to hold it around the outside. They're still wheel to wheel racing here. Still wheel to wheel. Bus eventually has to back out of it, but I don't think he's going to be out of this one yet. He's going to have DRS down the main straight as there. His teammate actually takes him. I believe Bus is... No, he hasn't. He is not pitted, so Bus there with the mistake, leading to his teammate passing him. Now then, the two Astons once again have a chance to fire at Dion. This time though, it's the other one that's competing with him. Here comes Undertaker. Not close enough. Bus is forced to back out of that one because of it. Mels though, he seems a lot closer here. I mean, DRS has probably very much so inflicted that, and also his unbelievable straight line speed today, showing a whole lot of pace compared to some of his opponents tonight. Here comes Volta though, to the inside. He might be able to get past Jax. There's a bit of squeezing there, a bit of contact, but Volta is unable so far. Very close though. Undertaker there in the back gets past Dion. Further up the field, that is Bobo making the move on Timon there. Very nice move from him. Now might be another chance actually. Here comes Bobo on Ghost. Ghost having to lose out here. Bobo switches it very, very neatly on the soft compound tyre. Tyre wear, a big issue around this circuit. These two are some of the only two that are actually going to bother staying out. Here comes Bobo, moves himself up into P4. What a race he's having, pace-wise here, as Ghost nearly losing it off the exit of turn 2. Bobo still gaining time. Ghoster got another great opportunity. Here he comes, back at Bobo. Those old soft tyres aren't going to help him. I know it's only lap 7, but like I said, tyre wear is a big deal here. Ghost is going to shoot back through. I won't be surprised if we see a Verstappen on Hamilton situation here tonight. As now here comes Vetsku. Should be an easy move on Stein. Is an easy move on Stein. Gets up into P6 himself there. As Bobo still applying pressure there to the back of Ghost. Bit of a surprise, to be honest with you. As their Undertaker overtakes Timon there. Not a bad move at all from him. Bobo has still got pace in those softs. I don't know how he's pulled this off. Lap 7, I thought this would be the cut-off for those soft drivers, if even earlier. Mills and Peter are clearly feeling it. They're both in. Is Bobo going to follow through? Yes. Bobo into the pit lane for his first of, I'm assuming, 2 pit stops here tonight. I don't think he can do 1 and make it work. Well, not very well anyway. As their Vetsku. Will he be able to get ahead of these lot? I'm assuming so. Will he be able to beat out Mel's? Very easily actually. Surprisingly easy there. As Mel's there does indeed come out in traffic as well. On the hard tyre. So Mel's is going straight to the end. Mel's does not have to make another pit stop now. He is on the hards. He is betting on no safety cars for this race. So it's very optimistic, I've got to say. I'm sure there will be at least one, even though we haven't seen much action so far, collision-wise. Meanwhile there, The battle for the wooden spoon continues as Rico loses it on this rear. Here comes Luke back at him. I'm gonna have to back out of that one. The wooden spoon though is in for play here between Rico and Luke. Meanwhile there, Peter is dropping back. He's lost 2 places there. Has he had an incident? Probably so. That's a 3rd position there for Peter. Will it be a 4th? He breaks very early. What's going on here for Peter? Is there... Oh, I think he's like down. A bit annoying there for him. As Chris now dives it in from the lead. Don't blame him. Tyres are dead. Tyres are going to be very shot around here. Now Jax actually might have a chance to get Volta back. We saw the overtake earlier on. Can Jax get a move done? Maybe on the main straight if Volta isn't in DRS of Stein, which sadly enough he is. The Brit Jax is going to be unable here to get past Stein as now. Oh! The undercut! The undercut has worked out here massively. Vetsku is now in striking distance. This here could be a move for the lead very soon. Chris on the cold tyres. He's going to be slower for these first few laps. Is that hard tyres as well? It is. So, Vetsku now is the man battling for the lead. All of a sudden, it's Vetsku versus Chris. But Chris does not have to stop again. Vetsku does potentially have to stop again unless he's got really, really good tyre control. It is going to be now. Vetsku has a look to the inside, has to dive over the curb. Nothing he can pull off yet. They're so tight. You could put a blanket over both of them. Here he comes now. Biggest opportunity of the race. To the outside of 13. Might switch it. Tries to switch it. Here he comes again to the outside of 14. Heading towards 15. For the leader of this race. Another switchback. Nothing quite yet for Vetsku. But I'm sure DRS can definitely assist him here in getting a move or 2 done. Maybe not yet though. He's very, very close though. It is very, very, very close to lead this race. Goodness me. Here he comes again now. Vetsku might have a look, is going to have a look. Vetsku to the inside. Vetsku takes the lead for now of the French Grand Prix, but I'm sure Chris is going to have another look at him heading into the second DRS zone. We'll have to wait and find out for that though. Chris is actually dropping back here. Can Vetsku pull off this 2-stopper and still win this race? I'm not too sure yet, because back he comes. The Lion, the leader of the championship, is gonna fight. He's never ever gonna quit. And he does retake the lead, but Vetsku here has a very nice double switchback on his hands. He might well go for the exact same move as last time. And it worked last time. Who says it can't work again? He goes straight for the inside this time. Chris shuts the door neatly, but Vetsku's still there. Still incredibly tight to the back of Chris and has another look, but it's not quite going to be enough. Chris gets the tighter line on exit and is able to just about stay ahead of Vetsku. Very, very tight between them though, as that there was a bit of a slide from Vetsku himself. Very, very unlucky. But he hasn't lost out anything. He's not lost out. Here he comes, Vetsku once again. This battle is brilliant. This is what we want to see. This is exactly what we've wanted to see for all of the times. The racing like this, the tight driving, the battles for the lead, the Stein on 11 lap old mediums pulling off an overtake on a driver who's pitted. That's what we want to see. Vetsku though, still another opportunity. Oh, he's lost it. He's managed to save it, but that there is going to drop him out of this fight for a good amount of time here. This is going to be close now. Meanwhile there, Volta Reflex has got bypassed, and now there is Jax in that fight now as well. And watch out behind them, because Melz has an opportunity. Melz gets past Stein, maybe on Jax as well. We've seen his straight line speed. Melz could pull off a brilliant double maneuver, and indeed he does, around the outside of Jax into turn 13. A fantastic move from Melz to move himself up into P5 currently. Will be P4 after pit stops from Ghost. Now Volta is Melz' next opponent on those hard tyres, surprisingly. Seems to be working out for him though, as that there is Ghost struggling out there. This is going to be Chris getting past Ghost here. Maybe not now, which might actually really hold him up, but he's still going to be close. Will we see a move from Chris anytime soon, or will he actually get really held? He's being held heavily right now. Ghost hasn't got pace. Chris has been pushed right back. Vetsku has another opportunity. I don't know whether he's going to go for it here, but I think he's got to. A three-way fight, a potential three-wide moment here. Down the longest straight of the circuit. This could be brilliant. Here they go. Vetsku has the straight line speed here compared to Ghost and Chris. Chris easily past Ghost. Vetsku knows he has to follow through, but he can't. Ghost slams the door. Chris is going to have the opportunity once again to pull away. Meanwhile there, Melz fighting away with Volta. Here comes Melz now. We know his straight line speed. We know this is going to be another very simple move for Melz. And indeed it is. I don't know what this is. Is this some sort of cheat? Because Melz has got unbelievable pace in a straight line. Vetsku right now has to rely on a big error here from Ghost. We're almost halfway through this race already. It's gone very, very quickly. As that there finally, for Vetsku, is Ghost pitting. And Chris will not get DRS. So Vetsku still will have a chance to gain that time back. I'm not sure whether he will get close enough though. They're going to be tight once again here. Will there be a move pulled off though? As that there Ghost dropping all the way down the order. And Melz now moving up into P3 after that overtake on Volta. Great race so far, I've got to say. Vetsku has gained that time back. He's on the better tyre for now, but he does have to make another stop, probably onto another set of mediums, because I don't think he can pull softs for 10 laps. Unless he does pit within the next 7, and then does another 7 on soft tyres, which is definitely possible. Here comes Vetsku. Once again, not going to be close enough, but you know who is close enough? Volta. Here he comes, fighting for that podium place, the final spot. The final chance to get on the podium. Melz is going to fight it. He's got the straight line speed to fight it. And he's just about not going to get it. And I think he's actually fallen too far back here to get him back on the next straight. He has. Melz has got unbelievable straight line speed. He's got the perfect setup on today. Didn't mean to pause, sorry. It's looking very, very good here for Melz, as we do have yellow flags. Who's that? It's Timon. He's lost his rear on the exit of the chicane. We've only seen small spins though today, so that's good. That is very good to see. The big surprise though, I think, of this race is Rico, P17, last place, and still got 14 seconds of gaps in front of him, and now another penalty. Rico here is not looking good whatsoever. This is going to be very, very, very annoying for Rico. The man who looked potentially in a championship fight, now miles away, nowhere near a championship fight. Incidents haven't helped him at all. He's been forced to just drop back. He's been lower points, if not no points at all. As that there is another incident further back. That is actually Bus Boj. So maybe a chance now for Rico to gain some time. But we go back to this fight. Vetsku. Sorry, Volta even. I'm too tied up in Vetsku and Chris, which is actually getting really close again here. Volta though, very, very tight here as Bus Boj retires on the main straight. Is that going to be cause for a safety car or a VSC? Could close everyone in. Or is that just a retirement I'm not too sure. Vetsku and Chris now. Still closing in on each other. There's not quite going to be a chance yet, but I'm sure the longest straight on the circuit is going to provide a great opportunity. As that was Chris with a huge snap of oversteer. That's not going to help him on exit. Or is it actually? He did seem a lot better there. As that there is Jax in for his second stop very, very early. Or is this his first stop? I'm not too sure. He's done 9 laps on those mediums. Stein is going for the 1 stop here. Unbelievable. He's still here. He's still P5 currently. After doing, what is that, 14 laps on medium tyres. He wants to pull off this 1 stop, and I think he can actually do it here. At this rate anyway, he's looking very good for a 1 stop. Anyway, we'll take this off, purely because we've got a battle to get to. Here we go. Vetsku once again, Gain all the time. Here he comes. I've turned everything off now. This is Gain. Very, very interesting. Chris leaves the space. Vetsku might be able to get the switch back here. Nothing quite yet. Meanwhile there, Volta on Mel's. Volta's past him and into the podium places once again. The really interesting battles here are at the front, which is exactly what we love to see, as their Vetsku getting very close once again. He is wheel to wheel again with Chris, and he's not quite going to be able to get the move done through the middle, heading into the final sector. Vetsku though, he has the pace, but I know Chris has a plan here. He's going to wear his tyres, because that's exactly what Vaseline does. It wears the tyres of both drivers, but Chris is on the hards, so Chris can still make it to the end of the race even with wear. So therefore, realistically, Chris is still in for the win here, definitely. But now Vetsku once again gaining a lot of time and getting very close to the back of Chris. DRS has really helped him, but he's clearly had some good pace through the corners to say he has kept up with Chris all of this time. Fastest lap right now is Dion's, and then Vetsku is second, so he is faster than Chris. That's what we can see so far. Vetsku is the faster driver here today in France, and now the opportunity once again for Vetsku. The race lead once again at play. Here he comes to the inside. Vetsku for the first time this race is still going to be challenged actually. I was going to say he isn't going to be challenged. He is definitely still challenged. Chris versus Vetsku. Slips back in to the toe. He's going to pull to the outside now. I don't think it's going to be quite enough pace, but we've seen his pace now heading down towards into 13 and 14. He's having another look there. Chris runs the wider line once again, and he's going to do the exact same every single lap. It gives him the faster exit speed, so therefore he is fine for now. Only 10 more laps to go after this one's complete. Tim and Bobo, this is a battle we want to see as well. The battle which last season was for the championship, now between a reserve and... oh, that's interesting. Let's go back to what I was saying. And a battle once for the championship last season, very close on points. Either driver could have won it going into the final race. Now is an on-track battle for P4. So the pace of the others has really caught on to these two, and they have not been able to keep up. But now, we will go back to what I was saying before those two started battling. Vetsku, where will he come out? Out of traffic. That could be huge. Chris's tyres are going to wear. I know he's on hards, but there will still be effects of wear, and they're the slower tyre. So realistically here, Vetsku could still win. He's definitely still in for this win. He's definitely still in with a great opportunity here. He does have a penalty though. That penalty might well bring him down. Only 3 seconds worth, but it's still a penalty. So Vetsku trying the undercut. He knows Chris isn't going to pit again. He doesn't have to pit ever again. Chris can stay out for the rest of this race on those 8 lap old hard tyres now. It's currently an Alfa Romeo 1-2, and it probably will end that way unless Vetsku can gain with those fresh medium tyres now, which he's already started to do. He's already started to eat into that advantage, and he needs to do it a whole lot more if he wants to go back to that fight for the lead of the race. Something tells me though that is an 8-second gap now for the lead at the front, nearly 9 seconds. Vetsku has it all to do. There's not much he can do, but it's going to be interesting, I'll tell you that. Bobo trying his hardest here to gain back time on Tim, and it's not quite going to happen for him. Meanwhile there, Jax versus Volta for what would have been P3 at one point, now for P8 and 9 after their second pit stops have been completed. Bobo gaining time on Tim. Bobo, big opportunity now actually. Down the main straight, the longest straight of the circuit. The two championship rivals of last year once again go wheel to wheel, and this time it's resulted in a Bobo victory. And that there is Rico. Nearly being lapped now. P16 out of 16. This race couldn't go worse for him, I gotta say. Is he just like not a fan of France, or is he just not got the pace today? I cannot tell what it is. But he does not have much on him today. Vetsku though, he's gaining a second a lap on these guys in front of him. He needs that. He needs more than a second a lap if he can. If he can push himself to maybe, just maybe 2 seconds per lap, then he can get involved with these guys. But again, we could see a Fernando Alonso-esque moment with Lewis Hamilton in Hungary, where these two are just purely one of these two. Tim, right now that being, holds up Vetsku, but that there is what he needs. Consistent laps like that. That was a brilliant run there from Vetsku on that time around, and it has allowed him to gain 1.4 on that lap. But I don't think he's going to do it still. Now 10 seconds between Mel's and his teammate Chris for the lead of the race. 20 seconds plus between Vetsku and Chris. 20 seconds in 8 laps. I don't think it's going to be enough. Meanwhile though, Bobo and Tim continue to fight. That's going to allow Vetsku to gain a bit more time. But it's still not going to be enough, especially if these two play the defensive game, or they just purely just attack each other, which is exactly what they are doing now. They both want P3, but I think Vetsku can definitely snatch it off both of them here at the end, which would be very nice for him. A podium today will definitely do for him. As a reserve especially, you know. He has barely just arrived on the scene. It was Austria this season that he had his first race. He displayed a win. He showed us his pace. He showed us what he could do. And now we all know his pace. We all know he's a fast driver. But do we know if he can hold it together in situations like this, where he's got two drivers in front of him battling, and he has got a race leader to catch up with? Bobo versus Tim here, still going on. Still very, very close between them. Which is exactly what we want to see, you know. A Ferrari as Bobo versus a Red Bull of Tim. Very tight between them here. As there is Peter and Stein actually at the back. What section of track are they on? That seems to me like they are just going through turn 3 and 4 now. So nothing really too much there. But now Bobo fights back, and there he is. Vetsku still got the chase on. Still there. As there he cuts over the curb, and there Bobo gets another penalty there. Meanwhile there, we have a four-way fight actually. Hold up 1 minute. We'll keep an eye on Vetsku, but I think we should be paying attention to a four-way fight, which could potentially shape an entire championship. Because Dion's in it. Dion Jax, the P3 man in the championship, a long way behind his teammate. Oh my! Chris is in! So the hard tyres aren't going to last him. Chris dives it in for a pit stop, and Vetsku's undercut here could well have worked. Vetsku could be your race leader after this turn of events. Don't know why it's displaying as Volta Reflex. There we go. There he is. Tim also in. Here he is. Vetsku versus Chris. Where's Chris going to come out? Behind Vetsku. He still has a 3-second gap to pull out though. And Chris is on softs. He's going to be chasing him down this entire way now. 6 laps to go. 2 drivers, both hungry for wins. Chris has a championship to fight for. Vetsku trying to prove himself even more than he already has. Both of them know they have pace. Both of them can challenge. But which one will win? Or will it even be Mel's at this rate? Because Mel's has held the hards and he only has 6 more laps to hold them. Mel's can still win this race. Vetsku can still win this race. Chris can still win this race. Bobo, I'm sorry mate, but you're out of this one because of those medium tyres that are on your car. Meanwhile though, Jax versus Volta is now the battle to watch. As now, Volta might have another go at Jax here for P5 in this race currently. And indeed he will. To the inside goes Volta. I think these two will both go to the end, to the inside of turn 13. A very nice move if he pulls it off. But Jax still continuing to fight him. Here he comes now. Jax all the way around the outside. Goes for the switchback. It's not going to be quite enough on Volta. But he still might have another opportunity. He's going to look down the inside. It's not quite going to be enough. But he does indeed hold it with him still. Volta is under all the pressure here from a driver in P3 in the standings right now. Clearly with a lot of pace. Here he comes onto the main straight of this race. Will the move be now? Yes, it looks like it will. But I'm sorry, we have to flick off because it's here. The battle is here. The battle that could decide the entire race. Chris to the outside of 3. Back to the inside now for 4. Now back to the outside for 5. Trying so hard here on Vetsku just to get the move done. Bobo could shape an entire race here. This is going to be unbelievably close. Bobo goes defensive. Both drivers are going to get through. It's going to be 3 wide for a split second. Chris is going to get him, surely. Vetsku on all the ropes. It has to fall eventually. Cristiano takes the lead here in France. Or does he? Because Mel's is still in contention. I am not counting Mel's out yet. He has the pace. He's proven so many times he can put in consistent laps. We need lap data right now because it could genuinely shape this entire race. If Mel's can hold consistent laps for the rest of this race and eventually hold up his teammate, Mel's will win in France. What a final few laps we're looking out for here as Rico retires in the pit lane as well. Nothing at what? No. No, 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 no. This race has just taken probably the biggest turn it could have. They're all there. So Chris is going to win. All thanks to Rico's DNF. Chris is surely going to win. What a turn of events. It looked like it was a 3-way chase. Any driver could win it. Mel's looked like he still would have hung on. But now the plot twist. But still, it may only be 1 or 2 laps. Mel's can still do it. There won't be DRS after the safety car either. It's going to have to be pure slipstream for Chris. That's what's going to have to get him through here. That's why Vetsku is still in contention here. unbelievable end. It has so far been an unbelievable race. This is what we want to see at France. Every single driver on the grid close together, but a lot of them already have made pit stops. Mel's has got it all to do, because if he pits now, then it's all over, and he's realised that. He will defend for his life on these final 2 laps. This is going to be absolute insanity. If Mel's can do it, that will be unbelievable. Rico fella, all I can say is, why did you not retire in the pit lane? Because you've made this very uninteresting now. Could you not have just, you know, dived it into the pit lane and just retired the car simply? That is exactly what I probably would have done, but you have it your way. Because now you've made things interesting, almost, kind of, yeah. I want to say this is now going to be interesting. It's going to be close, I can tell you that. It's still anyone's race. It's 2 Alphas though. They're the 2 in main contention here. 3 drivers behind them have penalties, Vetsku included. There are your penalties, 3 seconds worth for Vetsku, 6 seconds worth for Bobo, 9 seconds for Volta. An absolute horror show here today in the cases of Volta. He was once fighting for this race win and it looked so likely, and then the safety cars hit him. The safety cars pulled out the surprise here. You've got 2 laps here. 2 or 3 laps, maybe 3. Is safety car going to be in this lap? I'm sure it'd be announced by now. Oh, it is! Ah, so that just makes things even more uninteresting. So this has gone from what would be a crazy final few laps to what is now probably going to end up being a boring final few laps. Alright, so I think Rico had a genuine spin there. Meanwhile though, Chris seems to just not be bothered about Mel's. Is he giving his teammate an advantage here, or is this genuinely going to be... like, this first lap is going to be purely chasing down his teammate. So this isn't even going to affect anything. So Mel's here is really in for a win again. So Chris here might have just caused more interest in racing. Here comes Bobo now, having a look at Vetsku. Vetsku still there on Chris. Oh, he broke very, very early there, Chris. Meanwhile there, Bobo and Volta's going side by side. Volta had a look there at Vetsku. Volta's got brilliant pace here off the safety car. Looks like he might be able to do something in this race. Here comes Volta now, on Vetsku. I think he will be able to get the current P3 man in a straight line here. Looks very likely. To the inside, Volta's going to go, and I'm sure he's going to get the move done. Vetsku is not giving this up easily. Meanwhile, there, what's happened there to Peter? Oh, he's gone all the way off circuit. He's cut the corner there. He's giving himself 10 seconds worth of penalties. I don't know what's happened there. I think he might have been shrugged off the circuit or something. Meanwhile, there, Dion versus Jax is now a fight. Tim has been dropped all the way out of this race. Meanwhile, there, Peter. Is that another corner cut for him, or is that just a clean move on Tim? I'm not too sure. Meanwhile there, Jax gets back past Dion. That is a required overtake, but it still does look like Mel's might still do it. This could be a final lap of action. That'd be brilliant if we see it. Volta's here as well though. Volta's putting the pressure on Chris. There's going to be one more lap after this. Volta sets the fastest lap of the race. Now goes to Stein actually. Great pace being shown from him as well. If he clears Bobo, which he looks very likely to do actually now. Off the back of turn 3 to the inside, sorry, back of turn 2 even, to the inside he's going to go. He's going to get the move done on Bobo. Around the outside goes Jax actually on Bobo. Brilliant move from Jax. Maybe another driver following Drew there. Not quite going to be the case. There were yellow flags there further back. Remember that Bobo is dropping down the order. What's happened there? Bobo's lost a whole lot of time. And a whole lot of places as well. Meanwhile there, Undertaker going side by side with Tim. Is that 3 wide? Seemed close. Now the gap between the two alphas. That's all I care about right now. The gap between the alphas. The racing everywhere else is crazy. But these two could provide unbelievable final lap here at France. It's going to be either Chris or Mel's. That's it for this race. That's all the contention there is. Everyone else has got some sort of penalty. Tim is still going to finish here on the podium in P3, I believe. With the way everything has gone so far, he might well finish P4 just behind Vetsku. So Vetsku is still on for a podium here, even after his position loss, as DRS is enabled for the final lap as Stein sets another fastest lap. So Stein has got brilliant pace here. Is Stein still a man in contention? I don't think so. His penalties say otherwise. This final lap though could be unbelievable for ITR. Here we go. One last lap. Sorry, I just had to check something then. At the worst time possible, I know. But one last lap. One or two more sectors. 2 more sectors left to go. Mel's under pressure. Volta pressurizing Chris. It's still anyone's race, but I think it's going to be Mel's. He has to defend for his life here, though. There's a whole life of defending here that Mel's has to do if he wants to win this race. Chris is there. Chris is right there with him. Volta's right there. Vetsku is being put under pressure from Stein, who's going to switch it back and get him. Volta putting pressure on Chris in the worst case possible for Chris here, because I think it's going to be over. I don't think there's another opportunity. There's one final corner to do it on. But it looks like it's going to be an Alfa Romeo 1-2 led by Mel's, and that is going to be the case. He's held it after 3 unbelievable laps of racing. I'm sure now Mel's is going to cross the line and win in France. What a race here tonight. Chris takes home P2 and finishes off the Alfa Romeo 1-2. Tim in P3. Great result for him, moves him up into P3 in the standings. Vetsku P4 in the end, Stein P5, Davies up into P6, just ahead of Dion in P7, the other championship contender there. What a race tonight. Crazy, crazy final few laps. Unbelievable stuff all the way through. That is what we want to see every single week. We've missed a few weeks of it. I remember last time, I believe it was Austria, that we saw racing like this. Portugal was a brilliant one. Portugal's one I will definitely remember for a long time. But this is another thriller here tonight, with, I believe, a new winner in ITR tonight, in the form of Mel's. Mel's, your winner in a brilliant, brilliant French Grand Prix. I never thought I'd say those words. A brilliant French Grand Prix. Seriously though, that was unbelievable. How close that was. How close that could still have been without the safety car. Crazy, crazy race tonight. We are going to round it off there though. I love this league to bits. What a race. Once again. Hard tyres being taken 19 laps from Mel's. Pulled off the one stop, won the race. Crazy. Goodbye. We will see you next weekend for what should be another brilliant race in ITR. Thank you all.